One take one, and we're back. It's Saturday here in Paris. The weather's starting to turn a little warmer. It's been quite cool actually for the last little while. Surprisingly so. We keep hearing about, changes to the weather and how everything is broiling and everybody's burning. But yeah, it was basically 20, 22 degrees for about a week. So pretty nice. Perfect wine drinking weather. Today, one of the restaurants I like to visit when I'm here in Paris, Clamato, it's called, seafood restaurant. We had a bottle of a Loire wine. I think it was like Côte de Tubeuf. That was the region. It was a Vin de France, Sauvignon, Côte de Brisson or something like that. I think that's what it's called, and it was delicious. It went extremely well with oysters and with half a crab. I'm full, but I'm needing a glass of wine to kind of temper things out, keep things moving, and I decided to stick with the Loire. And one of the wines I picked up early on in the travels, or during this trip, and haven't yet popped, was a wine that was recommended to me by these guys at the local wine store who really wanted me to have this bottle because it was a rarity. And it's this. It's a Loire wine, so it's Domaine de Closiers, Libere 2020. And what's special about Libere is that it's Chardonnay. There's 30 R's, which I don't know. Geez, I can't really imagine what that size is, but it's small. That's planted to, I think it's 35-year-old vines. I want to say somewhere in there. Chardonnay, which makes it kind of weird, rare for that region. I had my suspicions a little bit that what are we dealing with here? Are we just dealing with a kind of it's kind of popular and it's a vin nouveau or vin nature, vin nouveau, art nouveau. You can tell I've been in Paris too long. A vin nature, or is it a proper wine? So let's test it and see, shall we? I just popped it maybe 5 minutes ago, so it hasn't had a lot of time. It's been in the fridge. It's probably too cold. But right away, let's take a look at the color. Very, very pale. One of the first things that popped up to me was licorice, which I thought was very interesting. Why licorice? And why so powerfully licorice? Then I was like, it's a sharper Chardonnay, so it's not it doesn't have the richness or the roundness of other regions that I won't mention in this because this wine deserves its own note. And yet, there's a lovely lemon dessert kind of feel to the fruit, and then a little bit of a pinch to it. A pinch in terms of the acidity and the mouthfeel, and then a length. Bingo. Very, very long. Nice, long, elegant finish. Clean. This is a good wine. I'm surprised. I sort of half expected that it was going to be a little bit of a, we like this wine, and then, kind of forget about it the next year. But these guys have never steered me wrong. It's just that they're a funny bunch in this store. They kind of, they're a little, they kind of gung-ho about the wines, but every price I've had was fair. Every, recommendation I've had from them that I've taken home. It's the same story I recommended Jean-Marc Vincent to me last year or the year before, and wow, I'd never heard of this producer, and it's the best producer in Santenay, white for sure. Fantastic. I really like this. I think it's almost it has a very clean, mellow edge to it. It's not a round or overly. It doesn't feel like an overworked wine. Lovely acidity, just lovely, and I love that lemon dessert. flavor that kind of comes through. And it's cold now, and it's just open. So I'm anticipating it only gets better. I'm going to leave it out of the fridge. I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to drink some tomorrow. I think it's going to be better. But so far, I'm impressed. I think this is a really fun wine if you can find it. Apparently, there's 3,000 bottles a year, maybe something like that. It's very rare, so I don't know. I might even seek it out and try and find another bottle, just because I think it's an interesting. I just do. I think it's got some quality Sauvignon to it, in terms of its. And maybe that's just the perceptions, what's in my head from earlier on today. But at the same time, there's something special. There's that lemon, like I say, lemon dessert. I don't know what else to call it. So delicious. Not a particularly mid-palate dense wine. There's nothing kind of going on. It makes its point when it comes in. Makes its point on the way out. Mid-palate probably needs to develop. It's young. Why wouldn't it need to develop? I think this is a superb effort. I'm really excited to see where these go. I hope I can get another one and take it home and maybe sit on it for a year or two and see what happens. Some of the other things that have happened in recent days, as long as we're here, I'll just catch up really quick. I had a Chambolle Musigny Les Champs Premier Cru from Domaine Bruno Clair. I did a Bruno Clair note very recently. That was the 13 Clos de Montagny, but this is Chambolle Musigny Les Champs. Super young, so I expected, here it comes, super tightness and whatever. I brought it from Sweden. I bought it in Sweden and brought it here. Why am I importing wine back to France? Because I wasn't sure. I wanted to have one bottle that I meant to open over the summer. So I brought it with me. And I popped it, and it was wonderful. I really liked it. It's a passive wine. It's not a driving wine. It's very, I would say, it waits for you to come to it rather than comes to you. But it's dense. It is dense, and at the same time feather light. So dense in flavor in terms of the fruit. The fruit it's super accessible, which surprised the hell out of me. A very stewed strawberry, bordering on black cherry fruit. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I got the fruit right on this. But there's something kind of going on here in the mid-palate that is very, very exciting, I think, for the future. If you have bottles of these, you're lucky. I envy you. Congratulations. The finish isn't quite as long as maybe I would like it to be. At the same time, it's long enough. It's not short in any way. It's just, maybe that's not why you buy this wine. You don't buy it for structure. You buy it for the sheer, almost just pure pleasure of being sort of in its presence. Really, really good effort. Again, a surprising wine for me. I thought it would be a lot tighter and a lot less open and a lot less inviting, friendly. And this was exactly the opposite. And the other thing I just thought I'd bring up is because these wines for me, and I don't know about you guys, but there's a Montagny and not the Bourgogne, the Ladoix. I'll get it for you. So I opened these bottles, these Faiveley. I found them at a wine store, and they were Village, and they were kind of like on the shelf where they're just trying to get rid of the 18s and get some new vintages in. And Ladoix, I don't know so much about. Montagny I've been exposed to a little bit, and I only bring it up because these are completely, it's the same vintage, same producer. They're both Domaine, but they couldn't be further apart in terms of style. This is green, it's grassy, it's almost a bitterness, a bit more Chablis a little bit in terms of its flavor profile. Not bad structurally, but I didn't find any elegance or class to it. I was not as wowed by this. Whereas this, the Montagny, I started to wonder, have I missed a whole area of Burgundy that I should be exploring with aplomb, as one might say? Because, I mean, the first time I really paid attention to Montagny was with Jean-Marc Vincent. I had the Montagny, I don't know, 16, 17 maybe. And I almost liked it better than all the others, that I've tried from him. Other than the Puligny Montrachet. Was it Puligny Montrachet? I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, it was a big wine. It was 2015 in a restaurant. I don't have the exact notes. In any case, Montagny, for me, is round and buttery almost, a little bit softer and inviting and a little bit leaning towards some of the... I like Meursault a lot. I like that richness of Meursault. I like that sort of, even though I like minerality and I like structure, I love a mid-palate that is voluptuous. And Montagny, this is not voluptuous because it's just a village, but at the same time, it's rounder and softer and more inviting. The Ladoix is more, if you like that, a little bit of herbal, a little bit of, bitterness, and a little bit of kind of a grassy feel to it, which I can understand, especially with some foods, would be a perfect match. Both of those wines, exact same price, and then it's a matter of style. I thought it was interesting. Hope you did too. Thanks for watching. I got some more wines coming up shortly. Until then, stay absolutely as thirsty as one can possibly be. Thanks for watching.